For we all stumble in many things. But if anyone does not stumble in a word, he's a perfect man, able also to bridle the whole body. Wouldn't it be nice to be perfect? It says right here that we can be, if we can control our words. But here's the thing. If you scroll down to verse 8 of James chapter 3, it then says, "But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison." So first we're told we can be perfect if we do this, but then we're told right after that, it's impossible to be perfect, and we can never achieve it. So what's the point? Does it then seem hopeless? Well, trust me, it's not hopeless. You still have hope. You can still strive to be perfect. There's a Kobe Bryant quote that says, "I was chasing perfection and excellence, knowing I would probably never catch it, but just the fact that I was willing to chase it, I would defeat most of my opponents because most of my opponents would never chase anything with no guarantees attached to it." Now, I know Kobe Bryant is the Bible, but this represents a mindset, a Mamba mentality that we're to strive to be perfect even if we can't achieve it. We're still to strive to be the best we can. But why is striving to achieve the best we can in our speech? Why is it so important? Well, our speech can control our lives. We see that in James chapter 3, verses 3 through 5. It says, "Indeed, we put bits in horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn their whole body. Look also at the ships. Although they are so large and driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder wherever the pilot desires. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasts great things." The tongue, though it may be small, it can still control our lives. Do you know anybody who is always negative? Who every time you're around them has something negative to say and will bring down your mood? But you probably also know somebody who is the exact opposite of that and is always cheerful and always has something positive to say. That's their speech controlling their reputation and their lives. But there's two ways that we can use our speech to control our lives. We can use it for evil and we can use it for good. What would each one look like? Well, if we were to use it for evil, verses 6 and 7 describe that. "And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. The tongue is so set among our members that it defiles the whole body and sets on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire by hell." This is not described as a good thing. It's described as a world of iniquity. It is described as set on fire by hell. That's not something that I want my speech to be described as. And then Ephesians 4, verse 31, "Let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away with you with all malice." So you're also speaking with bitter, wrath, anger. That also doesn't sound like a life I want to live. And then James 4, 11 and 12, "Do not speak evil of one another. Brethren, he who speaks evil of a brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to serve and destroy." So this is not a life that it seems like we want to live. It is bitter. You're always bitter. You're always angry. You're speaking evil of one another. You're going behind people's back, causing problems there. But that's good. Because there's also the exact opposite life. You can use your words for good. You can use your words for God. Proverbs 15, verse 4. "A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. Perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit." Now, this wholesome also can mean healing or a cure. Think about your words being able to build somebody up. They're healing. You're using your words to heal and build others up, not to tear down. And then James 1:19. "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath." This sounds like the exact opposite of the other. It sounds also very familiar. It sounds a lot like how Jesus spoke. Now, Jesus was perfect in his speech. He was the only man who has ever achieved perfection in his speech. And we can strive to be like Jesus, and we can strive to be perfect in our speech like he was. Then one more verse, Proverbs 21, verses 23. "Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles." Now here's the thing. We can't have both of these lives. We can't have over here we're speaking evil with our speech, and over here we're speaking for God or we're speaking good. You can't have both. You have to choose one of the two, which you see in verses 10 through 12 of James chapter 3. Out of the same mouth proceed both blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not to be so. Does a spring send forth fresh water and bitter from the same opening? Can a fig tree, my brethren, bear olives, or a grapevine bear a fig? Thus no spring yields both salt water and fresh. We can't choose both lifestyles. We can't have an alternate personality. We can't live one way, speaking one way, and the next, speaking another. I heard it recently described as Christianity is not a 9 to 5. You can't one day, you can't through the week, just part of the day speaking for God, and then you get off and you're now not speaking for God. You can't be speaking for God only on Sunday and Wednesday and the rest of the week not. You can't have vacations from it. It's a lifestyle that we have to choose to live. About 248 years ago, America declared their independence, and that came with a fight. We have a fight today to where we are fighting against evil speech that we have, and we have to fight that fight and become the best we can in our speech. I know which lifestyle I'm choosing. I'm choosing to fight against evil speech and fighting to do the best I can. But which lifestyle will you choose? Will you choose to use your speech for evil, or will you choose to use your speech for good? Thank you.